Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to To Be Determined. Today we are going over the brand new Chum Bucket update. Yes, they added Plankton to Hypixel SkyBlock. Now that would have been awesome, but unfortunately, no SpongeBob collaboration. But the main thing that I'm excited about this update, besides the new talisman, is of course going to be the update to Pet Luck. We're going to talk about that mainly today. But before we jump into it, please remember, if you end up liking the video, to actually let me know that you liked it by hitting that like button and hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Now let's jump into the video. Alright, so we're in the Mushroom Desert, and this is where the update mainly takes place. There is an NPC in this brand new Toad house. His name is Moby. If you go over and talk to him, blah blah blah, new update, yada yada. He asks you to bring glowing mushrooms to him, so bring him 8 glowing mushrooms. To get the glowing mushrooms, you just have to wander around and find these ones with particles around them, and then you click those and they will give you glowing mushrooms. You can see every time that I'm breaking them, I'm getting a glowing mushroom. So we're gonna go until we find 8 of them. Here's another one, and then we will bring them back to Moby. There we go, there's 8. Walk over to Moby, give him those. I practiced a secret chumming technique. It's reverse chumming. Instead of chumming, it's the sea creatures giving you chum. Very cool. Buy a chum bucket. Costs 8 glowing mushrooms, 2,000 coins. I have almost exactly 2,000 coins in my purse. That's perfect. Go ahead and buy one. We bought an empty chum bucket. Fill the bucket, bring it back to Moby. Okay, so to fill up the bucket, you're just gonna place it down next to the water. You have to place it on the block next to the water, and then you go and fish. I'm using my ammonite pet because it's got buff, especially for underground fishing. There we go. We catch a fish, we kill it. Now we have 1 chum. You get a chum every time you catch a fish and you kill it. So we are gonna put it into our chum bucket. So now it has 1 of 10. We're gonna keep going until we get our hands on all 10. And that time we killed it and we got 2. And that time we killed it, we got 3. Actually, I think it is based on how many people are also fishing next to you. That I just remembered that from the patch note. But that's 9 of 10. We kill the squid, and there we go. Chum bucket is full. So we right click to pick it up, but you go over and click on Moby. Wow, okay, listen, that's good. You are the chumming expert. I also have some good items for your chumming, blah blah blah. Let's click on him and see what he's got. So he's got the empty chum bucket. We've already seen that. The glowy chum bait, which adds extra chum dropped on sea creatures. Not too bad. The luminous bracelet. Earn extra coins and fishing XP when depositing chum in someone else's bucket. So that is kind of a pay to win fishing XP method, but honestly, you can get so much more with other strategies. Really not worth it, except that the bracelet gives extra sea creature chance and fishing speed, which will be good to be wearing while you're fishing. Then there's the chum rod, which gives you extra chances to get chum. I don't know why this is so expensive. It's honestly not that good in my opinion. But then there's the Moby shears, which allows you to collect extra glowing mushrooms. Not too bad. The mushed glowy tonic, which grants extra fishing speed. Now that one is actually pretty good. Extra fishing speed is a pretty big deal. And then finally there is the chumming talisman, which gives extra fishing wisdom and speed, but it is 32 full chum buckets. Honestly, that really won't take that long to get, especially if you've got a bunch of people out here that are grinding it. So this whole chumming update is very cool and all. Cool new talisman. You can get extra fishing experience with that, but does it really change the meta of anything besides fishing? And the honest answer is yes, because it did add a brand new ultimate enchant, which we're going to go into now. If we go over and do /hex, never mind, it's temporarily disabled. Fine, we'll go to /bazaar and go over to the ultimate enchants. You will see right next to bank and chimera is the new enchant Bobbin Time. There's Bobbin Time 3, Bobbin Time 4, and Bobbin Time 5. And Bobbin Time 3 increases some of your player stats by 0.48% per fishing bobber within 30 blocks up to 10 bobbers. Basically Legion for fishing, but it does have another thing that it affects, which is magic find, and more importantly, pet luck. This is really going to change the amount of pet luck that you can get, because at the maximum level 5 it gives plus 0.8% pet luck per fishing bobber within 30 blocks up to 10 bobbers. So if you've got 10 bobbers next to you, you're getting an extra 8% pet luck. and that's just for having it on one armor piece. If you actually put it on all 4 pieces, that's an extra 32 pet luck. Now granted, this enchant is through the roof right now, only a little bit ridiculous in price. I think it costs about 400 million to get the level 5 enchant right now, which sounds like a lot because it is, and that's only for 1 piece. To get it on all 4 pieces, it's going to cost you much more than that, a full 1.6 billion coin. Now the way that you get this enchant is actually by getting bobbin scriptures from the high level mobs that you get from fishing. The first one being the Grim Reaper, then there's Jawbus, which I don't have unlocked yet, then there's the Yeti, and finally the Sea Emperor. Now there's a bunch of other things you're going to need besides these scriptures that makes this enchant so ridiculously expensive, but that is the base RNG drop that you need to craft the scriptures. But it is going to change pet luck by quite a bit. I think this is going to be a real strategy to use, especially during Jerry, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. He should start out on the 23rd, I believe, which is in about 16 days, depending on your time zone. But he buffs your stats by 10% as well. So I would say a good strategy will be to buy the materials to craft some pets if you're rich enough to afford this bobbin time enchant, and then you'll easily be able to craft legendaries and hopefully be able to make some good money off of the Jerry event and this new update. I would say that this is a good strategy for like dropping a legendary Ender Dragon pet or something, but you actually have to have water for the enchant to work, and the end doesn't have water, so you're not going to be able to use the strategy there. It's mainly going to be useful for the crafting of new pets, but it will also help you whenever you're fighting like great white sharks to drop Megalodon pet, and also with Sea Emperors to drop higher rarity flying fish, and even when you're just fishing to be able to drop squids. So it does make fishing in the water a little bit more viable. Plus, who knows, if you kill a sea creature and you drop a phoenix pet, it's got a higher rarity to be legendary. I know it's kind of niche, but it's still a buff. And here's another little tip that I actually just discovered. If you notice in Moby with the chum bucket, he says you can get up to 4 extra chum from buckets, so you can only get about 4 chum per kill. So if there's people around here who already have 4 buckets, there's already 4 buckets down next to me, I don't really need to put one down. You'll see on my first kill here, I've got 48 chum right now. Once we killed this sea witch, it should be up to 52. It was only up to 50 though, because these guys removed their bucket. But I can actually just instantly fill it up if I want to as well. And then I've got another full chum bucket. So you don't have to have a chum bucket down to get chum. As long as people next to you have chum buckets down, you're chilling. So I think that's how I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna try and get other people to put their chum buckets down, and then I'll go around later once I've gotten all the chum I need and get all the glowing mushrooms I need to make the chum buckets and fill them up without even having to fish. Well, I do still have to fish to be able to get the chum to start with, but then I can do the filling up the buckets separately without fishing while I'm filling up the buckets. Anyways, I think this update's pretty cool, kind of a mid-game fishing update. Also helps out with the end game as far as a kind of buffed Legion goes with the new ultimate enchant, but very cool, much approved. Always happy to have new talismans as well. Let me know what you guys think of this update, and if you have any questions, I'll be doing my best to answer the comments that you leave down below. Thank you, have an amazing rest of your day, and God bless.